Hi everyone, welcome back to Job One for All. In this video, we are going to start talking about design patterns. What is or what are design patterns? Basically, design patterns is a way to solve a problem that a lot of developers are facing. So basically, they figure out the best way to solve a specific problem, and then it becomes a design pattern. So there are a lot of design patterns out there, and we are going to cover at least mm, let's say, one of the most used, the four most used ones. But most used is very relative because in some places it may be very used, some places maybe not that much. So let's create a new package here, ZZ, I think we are at H, design patterns. And let's create here a package called domain, and let's create a class called person. So let's talk about the first one. Imagine that we have the following class with the following attributes. You have a person with first name and then last name, and then you have username, and then you have email. So let's just use 4 because it can get very complicated. Then let's create another package here, delete domain, and then create test. And then the package, the pattern we are going to use is called builder. So builder pattern test 01. So what is the builder pattern? And what's the problem it's trying to solve? The problem it's trying to solve is when you have several attributes that needs to be initialized. So for example, in our person, if we have a constructor, I'll insert constructor with all of these attributes, and trust me, 4, most of the time you are going to see at least 6, 7. So I have seen classes with 15, 20 attributes. So if you have a constructor with 20 attributes, initialize the constructor like this person zzh patterns, it can become very, very difficult because IntelliJ, recently, I would say less than a year ago, they introduced this helpful, basically it gets the name of the parameter and just displays here, so you cannot use it. But this is an IntelliJ feature. I'm not sure if other IDEs they follow the same structure. So and then so basically we have all of this. And if we were not using IntelliJ, it's quite difficult for you, for example, to tell the difference between first name and username. And maybe you can get even confused with the last name because some last names maybe can be like first name. So in the end, the problem that the builder is trying to solve is exactly this one. It's trying to provide a way that you will develop some code that will help understand what attributes you are initializing. So going back to domain, usually the build pattern uses static inner classes. So you can create here public static final because we don't want that class to be extended. And then you call the name of your outer class and then builder. You will have the same attributes and you will have the same constructor. No, not the same. We can use here just the default constructor. And the the part where it makes all the difference is when we created what would be the setters. But in this case, we just do this public, and then if we are talking about setting, you know that the setters, they return nothing. Basically, you have public void, and then you have set first name, set last name. But in this case, with builder, we are going to return the builder, the object person builder itself. And then we are going to call here first name, and then we are going to get the attribute as if it was a setter and set as if it was a setter. So this does not change. Now, what changes is the return, because now we're not returning, we are not returning anything, but we are returning the object person builder. So if we do this for all the attributes, and we copy here last name, last name, last name, last name, last name, username, you do the same here, and email at the end. So basically you are setting each one of the attributes. You have a method to set, and then you are returning the object itself. So I wrote an example here. So basically this is what you're doing. You have a person builder, and then you have first name, and when you return, you are returning the object itself. So when you set the last name, you are setting the last name inside the same object. And what difference does this make for us? Now, if we come here, you can see that we still have the option to create the object like this. If you want, there's a lot of things involved in making this private, because there are some frameworks that may complain, especially if you're talking about JPA. And here, if we make this private, we are forcing people to use the person builder. So what's going to change here? I'm going to delete this guy, because now I will create person.personBuilder, and then I will call the method. So first name, okay, first name is William, then last name Swanee, and then username is also William, and then email. So if you take a look at what we are doing now, it's perfectly visible what you are trying to set. So you are setting, so this is the first name, this is the last name, this is the username, and this is the email. So you don't have to try to figure it out. And it doesn't matter if you give this code to someone using Notepad, they will be able to understand what attributes are you initializing. But we have a problem. This is returning a person builder. We need a person. So usually you will see in the person builder class a method called build that will return the outer class object person ch, and then you return a new person, but this time you pass all the attributes: first name, last name, username, and email. And now with this build, we go back to the test, and okay, so you set first name, last name, username, and email, and then you build and return a person to me. As you can see, now we have a person. You can create here or insert to string, and now we are just going to salt person. Control Shift F10, and we have our person. Now, as you can see, if you had to write everything by hand, you would have a huge problem. That's why we have some nice plugins. So go to settings, plugins, marketplace, search for builder. See this builder generator? Install, then apply, and then you press OK. Looks like there is no need to restart. I'm going to delete this class, and then I will press Alt Insert, and we have a new option, Builder. Now the name of the class will be Person Builder. It's asking if we want to have a method prefix. For example, first name will become with first name, but honestly, no, I don't want. Destination package, I will use the inner. I'm not sure what this but method is. Then I will create. I will select all the attributes from the outer class, and we have basically the same thing. The difference is that we have this method here that's kind of a factory method. As you can see, the person builder constructor is private. It means that we are forced to use this guy. We can rename this to builder. I think it makes more sense, because now this is how we have to use it. We cannot use new anymore because it's private, and it would look something like this. Builder and then build. Yeah, if you don't like, you just have to make this public and then remove this this guy. But basically now you can generate builders with basically 3 or 4 clicks. Cool, I hope you enjoyed. Let's continue with more design patterns in the next video. Bye.